I hated my parents when I was younger cause my autistic brother got basically everything. It took a life-altering event to change it. I, 30 male, have an autistic younger brother, 28. He was diagnosed with autism at 3 years old. I didn't understand it at first, and I admit that I was somewhat mean to him. Partly cause he couldn't stop me, but also partly cause, isn't that what brothers do? Anyway, after he was diagnosed, all our lives changed. What used to be about finding common ground for everyone, turned into what's best for him. It didn't really hit until I was in the 3rd grade, for a couple reasons. Mainly cause I started to understand the way my life would be for the next almost 15 years, also partly cause that's when I started getting bullied, but that's a different story for a different day. From the 3rd grade, we started doing everything together, like I didn't get hardly anything that was about me unless it was a birthday meal. When I fully understood what was going on, I began to resent my parents. I would often sneak out and stay at my friend's house, lie to his grandpa about it being okay with my parents if I could stay there, just so I could get away. When I wasn't at home, my life was great. I got to play video games, run around and basically be a kid, which is what I wanted to do all along. When I returned home, I got yelled at, which I deserved for sneaking out, but it still hurt. Needless to say, I knew nothing would change until I moved out. Well, fast forward to about 4 years ago. After all that had been going on since I was about 9, my future wife and I bought our house. Nothing special, but it's a start. Even after we had bought the house, I was expected to stay at home and help care for my brother, even though my fiancée at the time was at our house by herself. Because I didn't have a backbone, I caved. And boy do I regret it. After a while, I got fed up. I packed all my bags, and left in the middle of the night without saying goodbye. I went to my house and slept in my house with my fiancée. The next morning, I woke up to over 20 missed calls and 30 to 40 text messages, and they all said the same thing: get your ass home now. I simply replied no. I'm 26 years old, and I am living with my fiancée. I told her what I told my parents, and she praised me for standing up for the right thing. From that point on, things got a lot better for me. We planned our wedding, got married, and yes, my parents and brother came. Then about a week after we got married, my mom told me I need to come out to the house, it's important. They lived about 35 to 40 minutes away, and I was tired, so I didn't want to drive that far. But she insisted I go, so I did. When I got there, they told me that they were getting a divorce. It hit me like a freight train. I didn't see it coming, but looking back now, I'm glad they did. They always fought. Usually about money. But then, things changed. My dad stayed in the house, and my mom moved closer with her family, about 2 hours away from my house. After they fully divorced, things changed for the better. My relationship with both my mom and dad improved significantly. No more screaming matches, no more near physical altercations, and we started getting along. I'm telling this story to tell you that although divorce seems like a bad thing at the beginning, with time, it could actually be a good thing.